Herzlich willkommen und grüß Gott vom Private Banking Kongress aus München. Ich freue mich auf ein Gespräch mit Alison Porter. Sie ist Portfoliomanagerin bei Janus Henderson und wir werden über globale Technologiewerte sprechen und ihren Fonds, den Global Technology Leaders Fund. Warm welcome, Alison. I have to switch to English. Alison, we're talking about the technology companies and your approach in your Global Technology Leaders Fund. What structural changes do you see in the technology sector following the AI euphoria right now?
You know, the way that we think about AI is we think of it as the fourth wave of technology. So the first wave being mainframe, the second wave being PC internet, third wave the mobile internet, and this new AI era. And all of those eras actually take 10 to 15 years to develop. So you do tend to see they come out of a crisis. So there's this focus that perhaps this is euphoria, but it's really because we came out of the pandemic and we saw a sharp recovery, and that rebound along with new products which were really the catalyst, the NVIDIA H100 chip that really made AI possible at a price that could be, we could see mass adoption. So, we think that there's still a long way in this AI wave to go. And as investors, we're very much focused on bottom-up investing. So we don't invest in just, one end market or one theme. It's very much focused on bottom-up and finding the leaders, the companies that can actually benefit from profitability through this AI wave.
And having said that, how do you currently evaluate the balance between established technology companies and emerging innovators in your investment approach?
That's such an interesting concept, and I think in technology it's quite different versus other sectors of the market, because people will say, what's your mid-cap or what's your mega-cap weighting? And we don't think about it that way because we don't think in technology that history tells you that size is not a stock-picking strategy. If you went back 10 years and you look at the 10 leaders in technology 10 years ago, only 4 of those continued to outperform technology, but nearly all of the performance of tech came from those companies. And if you look at those companies that have hit $1 trillion, within 22 months, 80% of those have become $2 trillion companies, so doubling. So it's really important that you own the right mega caps, but that you also own a balance of the other emerging companies. So, we're very much bottom-up focused, and we think that you do that based on the fundamentals, not on the size of the company.
Which areas of digital transformation do you believe has the greatest growth potential over the next 3 years?
Look, we're huge believers that actually the whole economy is going to continue to digitize. We've spent the last 20 years changing retail, changing e-commerce, changing marketing and advertising, and we think that the next 20 years is going to be about changing transportation, it's going to be about changing healthcare. And we continue to see silicon and software becoming a bigger part of all of our lives.
What role do semiconductor companies play in your current investment decisions?
So semiconductors, as I just said, we believe are going to be really pervasive. So they are over 25% of the portfolio, and then more if you consider connector companies and other electronic component companies, because they're in all sorts of end markets. This isn't just about being in a narrow end market anymore. It's about whether we talk about defense spending or healthcare spending or renewable spending. All of those will require semiconductors in the future.
And to what extent do geopolitical tensions, particularly between the US and China, influence your investment decisions?
So obviously geopolitical tensions have stepped up markedly in this new presidential era. But we believe that technology is a national priority, whether you're talking about, national defense systems or your data security. We're seeing countries around the world continue to support a local manufacturing strategy, and that's very much focused on being able to manufacture technology in each country. So we're looking for companies that have leadership within their regions and also global leadership and scale that can help to navigate some of the supply chain changes that we're going to see in the coming years.
How do you integrate ESG criteria to your investment decision for technology companies, especially regarding data privacy and AI development?
This is a really interesting point, and we believe that good management teams have a perspective, a long-term perspective, whether it's the environment or social issues. They have to be forward-looking, and we have a long history of engaging very actively with all of the companies across our holding period. So we believe in active engagement. Look, many of these, particularly the mega cap companies, they're used pervasively. Meta's used by over 3 billion people, over 100 million people pay for Amazon Prime. So it's really important that as investors who care about this, that we engage actively and we have active plans and engagement across very senior management level with these companies.
Okay, and how has your approach to evaluate technology companies adapted in the light of the changing interest rates and the policy of the central banks?
So the Global Technology Leaders Fund, our philosophy is very much based in technology is an exciting sector, but we don't believe in investing in deep value. So just buying cheap companies that may be disrupted or be obsolete is not a way to make money. But equally, we think you cannot buy growth at any price than buying companies that are trading on 20 or 30 times sales, because in this era, as you say, cost of capital is no longer free. Interest rates are a real cost, and in a period of accelerated disruption, we really focus on cash flows, and we focus on companies that we view are going to become leaders and have that repeatable process to drive solid free cash flow at a reasonable valuation. We're really looking for underappreciated growth within a very strong and rigorous valuation discipline.
Alison, a few personal questions. Behind your professional interest in technology, what tech innovation have made your most significant impact on your personal life?
Oh, I think it has to be FaceTime. I particularly enjoy a FaceTime with my daughter at 6 o'clock this morning and trying to help find her hockey socks. Okay. So I think FaceTime brings us all closer together, the ability to just integrate with family, to do meetings from different locations, I think has been a tremendous benefit in recent years.
And what advice would you give to someone just starting their career in technology investment management?
I think it's a very exciting industry to be involved in, and I think one of the key things that I think is to get involved, show your enthusiasm, work hard, and I think have a long-term plan, but focus on the job you do now, excel at what you do now before you move on to the long-term plan. And I don't think you don't have to join the biggest firms straight away. Be prepared to work up and always listen, because we're still always learning. I'm still learning.
How do you maintain your healthy work-life balance in a sector that moves so quickly as technology?
Always with a challenge. I think balance is very difficult, because balance infers there should be some precision and equal, and so I like to think of it as harmony, work-life harmony, and that sometimes you just have to make sure a more holistic view that everything works together.
Perfect.
And teamwork. I work in a great team. I have 2 co-PMs. I have my team at home, my team at work. And teamwork is really what makes that harmony possible.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Alison.
Thank you so much.
Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen. Wir wünschen Ihnen eine entspannte Zeit.